So, guys, I'm here with the one and only Bernadette. Bernadette is one of my closest friends, and she is literally the queen of fitness. She can do things that some grown men cannot do. She's not only strong physically, but mentally as well. And her story is one that it means so much to me as much as I know it and have heard it for the years. It's one of those that I'd love to hear it, and it's so inspiring. And guys, I just want you to see a side of her that I get to witness all the time, and I think not a lot of people get to see that side of you.
Yeah.
They just see like the crazy workouts or how you're always building people, but they don't really know how you got to where you are.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that I really want people to understand about you is like, look, you're human, you go through things, but like you prevail and you prevail at another level. And to me, it's your mentality. So like explain to us like right off the rip, be like, how did you become the woman you are today?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm getting emotional. Mm, I think, well, first you saying what you say, just because you've seen me,
Yeah.
you've seen me, like I always say this, like I'm a different type of person in the gym.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
my mind goes places, emotional things come up. I get to be an athlete again. All these, like I'll even get glimpses of me the first time I worked out when I started playing sports or with me and my dad. That's where really it all started. So when I'm in the gym, I just like turn on a different thing, like I guess Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
I just turn it on and it's just like, so you've seen me there, you've seen me in my workplace, you've seen me chilling, you've seen me all types of places. So for you to say those things about me is like, it's cool. So thank you.
Nah, it's love, baby. Love.
um Shoot, I think what I always say, it goes back to, I'm the firstborn, first of all, of three. And my dad is a football coach, girls basketball coach, guys baseball coach. So since I was born first and my sister's 3 years behind me, I was everywhere with my dad, everywhere. Like I always say, I was like the girl from Remember the Titans. I was like that.
Love it.
Maybe not as intense, but like that. I was in the locker room. I was on the bus. I was at football camps. I was on the field. I was my dad's ball girl. I was everywhere. And at the games, I was everywhere. Everywhere most little girls don't get to be. So because I was there, I started to be around a different environment, atmosphere, language. And I looked up to my dad so much. So I would pay attention to things that he would say about certain players. And I would get to see, let's say he said, oh, this guy's a hustler, this guy's a leader, this guy is, he's vocal, he's whatever. I would, understand that at a young age. So I would remember that, and then I would go to practice or something and I would get to see it live, like, oh, okay, I see the difference in this player as to this player. This player, he would say about someone, he's
Yeah.
a
A
whatever,
pain in
or
my butt.
he's a
Yeah.
p he's a lazy,
Yeah.
he complains all the time, he's whatever. And so I would go and I would be able to see that. And what my dad thought was attractive, explaining a good athlete, and then I would see the difference between one that was or wasn't,
Yeah.
then I would try to adapt those in myself. And then my dad would teach me at a young age too. Since I was 6, I started pitching with him on our front porch. We lived next to an elementary school.
Mm.
So we would take the balls, the bag of balls, go across the
Hit.
street, yeah,
Get
and
those
just for
reps in.
hours, where I'd have blisters on my hands, but I didn't care because I loved it. And while we were practicing, he would talk to me about like having a certain mentality. He would say, your body's gonna get weak, so your brain
Yeah.
has to take over. When that happens, you go back to the fundamentals. And
Yeah.
he would put me in game situations that I didn't even quite understand. Like, all right, you need to throw this pitch needs to be
Yeah.
a strike. If it is, we win championship, we win something. And he was putting me in situations and talking to me about really stuff that I had no idea about. And this word kept coming across, was being a state champ. Being a state champ, again, you don't know until you know.
Yeah.
You don't know things until you know. And I won my first state championship at 12 years old, and my dad happened to be on the field that game. And yeah, when we won, you have this whole celebration. And the things that were flashing in my head at that time was all the stuff that I did for
Oh,
six
you gotta do.
years
Yeah.
and all the reps, and the times I didn't want to be outside, the times I didn't, but also the times that were fun, that I started beating my dad, and when we played grounders. And just all these things. When I won my first state championship, my dad happened to be on the field. I remember after I finished celebrating, I looked at him and we just like we had a
Have
little
that moment.
moment without words. It was kind of like he just looked at me like, I told you.
Yeah.
And that was the start of some really crazy, psychotic. What that's what other people say. It was a start of like this work ethic in
Yes.
me that he didn't have to drag me outside. He didn't. I was dragging him outside. Anybody that I could get to catch for me, play with me,
Mhm.
throw grounders to me, whatever. I wanted to do that because I understood that those little things that we did that I didn't want to do, that hurt, that
Yeah.
sucked, that whatever was the reason I that caused me to that championship. And from there on, it was a work ethic that I developed, that I took on over and over.
Yes.
Anytime I got a chance to practice, I was doing it. Jumping on a trampoline, running sprints, running hills. I'll just put my music. I don't want to age myself, but like the Discmans and the
Yes.
Walkmans, they'll stuff them behind my
Yeah.
shirt, and I'll just go outside and play and run and run and run. As I just knew that those little things, anything that I was doing
Mhm.
other than sitting down, was possibly going to lead me to another win or another championship. And because of that, I've won 7 state championships, most of them in softball, one
Yeah.
in basketball, that my dad happened to be our head coach at.
Oh, Henry,
Yeah,
man.
it's my only state championship that he's ever won. Sorry, Dad, but the only one that
Yes.
he's ever got to. And so that's where everything came
Yeah.
from. And after I finished playing sports, I took that on to
Life.
everything
Yeah.
else.
I
Yes,
mean, from being a
life.
college athlete, having your dad instill values in such an early age, and like it's like that wolf that tastes blood for the first time. It's
Yes,
like, oh my gosh, I have to kill, I have to destroy, I have to get it again. It's like that was you. You know, like you got
telling
that
you.
one little glimpse of like it tastes good, don't
Yes.
it? And like you constantly chase it, and that's why like I know you're a big Kobe. Like I wouldn't even call you a fan. I'd say like you're a devout Kobe fanatic. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you just not because of him as an athlete, because of the mentality. And that's where those parallels connect with you. Like over the years that I've just worked with you, I've seen you train through broken ribs twice,
Twice.
literally,
Yeah.
in two different places.
Mm-hmm.
You survived a tornado,
Mm-hmm.
literally that touched ground. Your windows were shattered out of your car. You
Yeah.
saved another mom and her daughter from the
Yeah.
tornado and covered them through that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's and these are all literally in like the last 6 years. I
Yeah.
maybe think about it, and it's a testament to not only like say that the values you had at such a young age, like that's why you are the way that you are. But I do believe that's also why a lot of people don't understand you, is because not enough people want to push, they want to fight, they want to reach for more. And I think that's what's a lot of, and I say why a lot of people are lost, but that's what a lot of people lack purpose. And you don't necessarily need something to believe in. You just want to prove to yourself that you can do
100%.
it, even if you don't think you can do it. Like you're like, I'm gonna try it. And if
100%.
like you know that bones heal, right?
Yep.
Feelings change, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this time that I'm going through of uncomfortableness, it's temporary.
Yeah.
So you're not scared to just fail. And I think that's a power in your testament because you're very successful in your nutrition business. You know, you own a nutrition club, multiple of those.
Yeah.
Your family's rooted in fitness. Um, and you're the oldest, just like me. So like I resonate with you in so many areas because it's like you're not only like in that black sheep phase, but you're also like the glue in a lot of areas of your life too, especially with your family that's so involved. And so, like I would say, like now with you in your space of nutrition and wellness, like what are the key pillars that you like are non-negotiable in your life right
Yeah.
now? Like what would be those?
Jesus. It's the number one thing is food. Is this
Mhm.
when I learned it was, when I stopped playing sports. Well, first of all, being around my dad so much, a lot of his athletes would come and visit him afterwards,
Yeah.
and you don't understand what you don't understand. They'd come back late years later, whatever, and they're 20, 40, 50 pounds overweight, and we're talking about good athletes. And I'm sitting there, even in high school, I don't understand. I'm like, what is
And
this
what
gonna happen
happened?
to me
Yeah.
after? So literally, I remember I'm a senior and we're getting honored for our state championship, and they're saying, oh, you can come back and look at this banner 10 years later, it'll be up here. And I remember I said this out loud. I said, oh my God, I need to start losing weight now. I said that. And I
Interesting.
know they heard me because I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't want to look like
I
that
don't
when
want
I
to.
come
Yeah.
back, right? So that's been a thing that's stuck into my head. So, anyways, when I finished playing sports, I would work out, starve myself a little bit. I didn't know shit about nutrition
Yeah.
like I do now. I played D1 softball. They fed us,
Yeah.
whatever,
Whatever.
whatever. Yeah, I'll go to practice on empty stomach, and because I knew we were gonna run that day, and I did everything totally wrong until, we do Herbalife. My brother started 3 years before I did, but he went to like some seminars and he heard people on stage saying that these products were helping them with migraines,
Yeah.
which I dealt with since I was 6.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I started ever taking supplements at all, because I'm over here, I'll just work out and see what happens with my
Yeah.
body. That was really what I concerned about. Never related really food to anything else. Anyways, I get on some Herbalife products. I didn't change anything with my diet, nothing like that. Added that because I was willing to take one more thing to help me with my migraines. I lose 11 pounds my first 2 weeks on the product, and I was like, what the?
Yeah. What is
Yeah,
this?
because I wasn't working out crazy
Yeah.
and wasn't starving myself. I just added these supplements, and we go eat Pizza Hut or we go eat, I don't know. I wasn't really conscious about the quality of my food.
Yes.
When the 11 pounds happened, I was drinking a shake in the morning, never ate breakfast, and I added some things, and I was kind of like on a timely manner. I was like, what is this stuff? And my remembrance of looking like a has-been athlete came into
Yeah.
my head like, oh, maybe this is it.
Yes.
Maybe I'll just take this stuff, whatever. And then 3 months had passed before I got my next migraine, when I used to get 4 to 6 migraines a month.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what is this? And I dove into nutrition. That's when I like, why did this do this? Why did this do this? Why did this do this? And then food and all these things came into. So what I've learned is the quality of the food. I always
Amen.
say
Amen.
that our body is a Bentley.
Yeah.
If you had a Bentley and you take it to the gas station, what
Yeah.
gas do you have to give it? If you
Yeah.
give it anything less, you F up the Bentley.
Exactly.
So if our body's a Bentley, right? The quality of what we give our food on a timely manner every single day is how our body's going to not alone function, but look on the outside and the inside. I always say that. So there's higher quality foods to even French fries or
Yeah.
like burgers or whatever. And I'm always about the highest quality, and then fueling your body throughout the day. I don't calorie count my food. I don't
Mm-hmm.
weigh. I don't I don't do anything outside of what anybody else would not want to do.
Yeah.
I've learned to balance out of eyeballing things, and then small portions throughout the day is what I've learned, because your stomach is a second brain
Yes.
slash gas tank. If it's empty, then you start pulling from the body. So,
Yes.
anyways, it's the quality of the food. I'll say hydration
Mm-hmm.
is a big thing. And of course, the gym.
Yeah. And which you're a
Yes.
beast in, by
Yes.
the way. Like, it's the
Thanks.
workouts that we've done over the years. I just think about people like, oh my God, like I love watching
When they would
Bernadette.
watch us
Yeah, and they're like, and what's crazy is like most people don't know is like when we try stuff, we're kind of like,
on
let's
the
just see
way,
what happens.
I'll,
Like,
I'll literally be like, Pierre, who else is doing this? He's like,
nobody.
nobody else. Shit, okay, let's go.
Yeah. And but I think that's the beauty of like our relationship too, because it's like you trust me enough to know like I'm never gonna put you in a position to
Yeah.
hurt you. But at the same time, like we gotta push comfort zones, And I think that's the cool thing of understanding is like that ties back into who you are because I know how you're wired. And like I understand like there's only so many squats, so many lunges, so many of the same exercise you'll do before you're like, yo, I'm not only bored mentally, but also too like I got physically I need to be
Yeah.
doing different things. And it's the intentionality behind your training.
Yeah.
And also like going back to the nutrition piece, like you said, not counting anything. I think a lot of that is most people just don't try to be aware of how they eat. Because
Yeah.
like you said, you don't count, you don't weigh, you don't do any of that. But it's kind of common sense, right? I know if I wake up and I had Shipley's donut for breakfast, well, okay, that's fine. You maybe you splurge, but don't have a terrible lunch, a terrible snack, a terrible
Yes.
dinner.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
like it's moderation.
Yes.
But also being conscious and aware. Like, hey, I've been locked in Monday through Friday. I shouldn't feel bad about going to have dinner with my friends and having a glass of wine and
Yes.
ordering dessert. You know what I mean? Like, and I think a lot of that is people like they lose sight of that of understanding like dude it's okay because you
Yes.
deserve to live life. Yeah, you
Yep.
really do. But don't be all the way one way or all the way the other.
No, it does something to your mental. I've
Yes.
done that before. I did like a 90-day thing where I did not cheat. Like
Mhm.
no chip. Like my thing is like, let's say pizza, chips and salsa, some chocolate.
Yeah.
I did not cheat not one thing for 90 days. And yes, my body was dumb crazy.
Yeah.
My abs were the best, but I'm like, I don't want to live like this. If I don't want to do it and I know
Mhm.
myself, I'm willing to do 110% times whatever. I don't want to live like this. Imagine majority people, they don't want to
Yeah.
live like this. So I've used my body as a guinea pig for the probably the last 18 years. When I
Yeah.
got really into the nutrition part, I've used my body as a guinea pig to let's see what happens when I do this. Let's see what happens when I do this. Not just with the gym as well.
Yeah.
Heavy or cardio, this, that, but the treadmill. Let's see the walking. Let's see if this is true. Let's see if this is true. Let's try this. Let's try that. I've done all those things, not just in the workout, but with food. And I've tried different stuff, even a little bit of the fasting things. And oh my God, I don't understand. I don't know. So I've tried different things with my body. It's literally taken me, I'm going to say, 15 years, let's say, to really down pat.
Understand.
Yes, to
Yeah.
really understand people, my body, myself. That's why it only takes me a couple questions with
Yeah.
someone and I could pinpoint what they're doing wrong and just tweak a little bit of things in somebody's diet as to why they're not, whatever, losing weight, gaining
Yes.
muscle, why they're feeling fatigued, why I don't know, whatever. It
Yeah.
just takes me a couple questions because I've been there, done that with my body. I'm just so curious as to why certain things did what they did for me,
Yeah.
why they made me feel a certain
Yeah.
way, why I felt tired, why I felt bloated right away. It was all that stuff. So normally, it's like I like that though. I'm very curious person is to see how much better I can get.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from. And not just in my workout stuff and doing crazy shit that we do, but it's the food part because food fuels us to do those things. So I'm always like, what if I do this? How much better could I get?
Yeah.
Could I run faster? Could I lift heavier? Is my stomach gonna be flatter?
That is
Is
true.
my butt gonna pop more? It's always just something because I figure like, why not? If I'm not trying to get better every single day, what?
Mhm.
I'm just here, just
You're either getting better or you're getting worse.
right,
That's how everything
just
works in life.
mediocre like
There's no middle.
everybody else. Not, I mean, in the most respectful way,
Yeah.
because everybody's gonna live their life how they want to. I just want to use mine like I always say, seize the day.
Amen.
In order to
Amen.
seize the day, you have to seize the moment. How do I seize the moment? Well, is what I'm doing right now in this particular moment helping me reach any of my
Yeah.
goals, whether it be spiritually, mentally, physically, health wise, something. Am I helping someone else get better?
Yes.
How can I seize this moment? And in that, I seize the day. And sometimes it looks like chilling,
Yeah.
just relaxing, because I have taken myself overboard and I'll
Yeah.
get sick.
Well, there's power in peace.
100%. Yes.
Like that ability to say no and say, you know what, I need to just because you're big. I mean, you're responsible for what, like how many people on your team that
I
could,
have over 2,000
yeah, and
team.
like, and you
Yeah.
talk to these people 2, 3 times a week, sometimes more.
Yeah.
You're speaking on worldwide stages.
Yeah.
I mean, you are a giver of not only nutritional knowledge and mentality, but you just give and like you truly do care about people.
Yeah.
And it's one of the greatest things about you. Like most people, like they don't get to see that side of you because like you're very intentional about who you allow to be around you, and which everyone should be. But I mean, we could rant hours for that. But I think what's powerful about you is that as intentional as you are about who you allow around you, when they finally get past that layer to see who you are, like you have a friend for life. As long as you don't mess it up.
Yeah.
Like you got B for life. And if you got B
Yeah.
at like locked in at that, you have one of the most highly motivated, loving, caring, driven people that you can't help but get better being around you.
Yeah.
Because it's the truth. And I think that's like one of the things that too many people like they see all the crazy stuff on social media or your followers or what you're doing, but they don't understand that it's like you're giving so much to so many people that sometimes you have to take a step back. Like you have to distance yourself. You gotta recharge, fill your cup. Because I mean, every day, as much as you fill your cup, you're giving
Yeah.
and giving and giving. And so and you're also big into fashion. Like
Yeah.
I know you use that as kind of like your
Yeah.
like you tap into that creative, which a lot of people like. I know that's catching wind now too.
Yeah.
So like, how did you get into like that piece? Like, how did the fashion blend in with like all the other things?
I I honestly, well, I developed the muscle for athletics, and so my dad like made me until I
Mhm.
loved it, which thank God for that. And the nutrition part came with the
Yeah,
athletic part. The fashion part, I'm just telling you, I feel like I was just born with it. To
yeah,
as cliche as it sounds, I just remember at a young age, we had this little house, a small one, growing up, and my mom's closet, and I would lay on her bed and just like put my, and just stare at her clothes. And
Mhm.
I remember certain shoes she had. I've always loved, like, she had these tan leather heels
Okay.
with the wooden heel, and I loved those. I loved the back then you didn't know what vintage is, but I it was the vintage look of a 70s type of feel.
Yeah,
But I didn't know that at the time.
yeah,
I'm young. My mom had this vintage t-shirt with, like, back in the day there was like a jowl thing on top. That's how the murals would
yeah,
be, and it's like 3D and it's glitter in it and stuff. And I love the tatteredness and the distressed look
yeah.
of the t-shirt. That was young. I remember what I wore to my first day of
That's
kindergarten.
crazy.
Yeah, I remember, like, and I think maybe my parents had a lot to do with it. Like, we would go school shopping every summer. Where they would get the money from, I don't know. And thank God. But we had a freaking blast. And it was
Yes.
like our store back then was Dillard's. And that's an expensive store,
Yeah,
like,
back then it
back then,
was.
whatever. And we would go in the dressing room. My dad would just throw clothes
Yeah.
over for us to try out, and I would just, yeah, I just remember certain things. I would try out different stuff, and just, I don't know, I was never afraid to wear certain things. I'll get teased all the time for mismatching colors or whatever. Wearing sweats, I've always done that. Sweats with something and a t-shirt, and I'll dress it up. I did that in middle school. In high school, I would wear like wedges. Those are heels, and
Yeah.
wedges and a furry something with these jeans that were up here. Everyone wore boot
Mhm.
cuts. I just, I don't know. I
You
like what
just
I
like,
like. Yeah. Until I got into college and my classes would be like boring. So I would take a fashion magazine and I would look through it, and I hate blouses and like frilly flowery shit.
yeah,
So I would go through and I would start coloring over on top. Like, I would wear it this way, I would do it this
interesting.
way. And then my ideas would start to go. So I bought this little book and I would draw ideas in there of what I would do to this instead of that, or because I would see something I was like, "Ugh, I like this, but I would rather like
Yeah,
like this." So I would draw it. And one day, I lived in Las Vegas and I came down to visit Enrique at his nutrition club. That's my brother. And he had a nutrition club in New Mexico. So I go down to visit him. I know I was gonna stay about a
yeah.
month or so. And I'm in there and I'm all dressed up because I worked in the fashion in New Mexico in Vegas. I'm all dressed up. He's telling all his clients that we're gonna have a fashion show like in a
Sounds like
week, or I don't
Enrique.
even know what he said. And I'm like, what? He's like, oh, just go in their closet and put an outfit together for them. I said, absolutely not. And he's like, well, take that little book out that I didn't even know he knew I had that. I didn't
Oh
even know he
yeah,
knew what I was putting in there. And he's like, take the little book out and make some
yeah.
shit.
Just do some things.
I'm like, I looked at him like, I was like, okay. So I did. I got the notebook out and I took some t-shirts out of my closet, and I just was like, all right, I don't know how to sew. I don't know how to, I was just putting stuff together. And this was in 2007. And I started getting t-shirts and revamping them. Like, I can dress up a t-shirt, but girls were not doing that.
Yeah,
When they wear t-shirts, they're wearing sweats, they're dressing it down. So it makes you feel a little lazy. It
yeah.
makes you feel a
That's
little
true.
whatever. I love t-shirts, so I want to dress it up. So I'll wear thick necklaces and crazy shit, and then I'll put heels and stuff. So what I started to do was get the t-shirts and let me glam it up for them so they didn't have to think about it. All they had to do is get my one of my t-shirts and put it on.
Yeah, and just go.
And so I had tulle on them, and I mean, I've done a whole bunch of stuff, but again, people think it's crazy,
Yeah,
it's stupid, it's dumb. Or I did. I know I'm gonna wear it, but I'm like, who else is? And that's how it got started. And people wanted to buy the stuff right
and
then and
now
there.
you
And
do. Like now you
now,
have people buying your
yes,
stuff, and you're like,
yes,
hey, I remember you told me you're like, oh my gosh, like
yes. I
I
just
didn't
sold a
think it was
piece for
gonna.
$300.
Yeah, and that's just a testament to like just like you said, 2007. It's been over 20
Yes.
years that has been like as like
It
it's not even your
itch. It
primary
itches me.
thing. Yeah,
Yes.
and you're good at it and it's unique. So, I mean, I would say like with that, like knowing obviously the gym, the fitness, the nutrition, all that is powerful, but like sticking to something you truly love. Like if there's a young girl out there right now that's watching this that is like has that same itch, whether it's in anything, cooking, whether it's in making arts and crafts, being murals, whatever it may be, fashion. Like, what's something you would tell her right now to make her want to stay in it for this long? I mean, on top of living life, on top of going through death and trauma and like all the things you go through in childhood, and then of course living a life of sports and everything that life brings along with it, how would you encourage her to carry that light with her through that
Mm.
process?
Well, one thing you said about the trauma part and the adversity, because it's gonna come no matter what. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
come in different forms too,
Yeah.
and it hits you harder when it's the people around you
Mm-hmm.
that you love,
Yes.
and you
Yes.
care about their opinion, you care about what they say and
Yeah.
what they think is that. And I would say, don't listen. If
Yes.
you have this thing inside of you, like I wish I would have. I mean, I know I'm still doing it and everything, but back then no one was doing
Yeah.
what I was
Yeah.
doing in 2007.
Yeah.
And as the years kept going by, I start seeing my ideas and my stuff all over the
Yeah.
place, and I'm still happening to this day. Anyways, I would say use the pain
Yes.
of adversity
Yes.
to push you to greatness.
I love it.
Any naysayers, this is what I tell myself in the gym, even when I'm doing squats. Use the pain to push you to greatness,
Pain to push
and
to
it's
greatness.
actual pain. But there's pain that comes in other forms, and
Yes.
it's like even doubting yourself. The way we talk to ourselves is use that stuff because it's not real. It's not any of that. What people say about you, what people's opinion is not real. Very few are you gonna connect. If you're in a creative mind and you're a go getter and
Yeah.
you give 110%, you have crazy ideas, and you have this aggressiveness inside of you, there's
Yes.
very few people that you're going to connect with and
Yeah.
very few that are going to understand you.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to tap in and dig into yourself
I love it.
constantly.
I love it.
I read books that relate to me. I write lists all the time. I'm writing my own stuff and my own ideas, and I take that because it won't leave me alone. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, it itches me. Like it's just there. And I'll get random little messages from people I don't even freaking know. Oh my God, you need to start doing this. You need to start doing that. And I'm like,
Yeah. It's the
know,
universe
and I
speaking
would
to
say,
you.
just
Yes.
just go. And
Yes.
whatever keeps on you, just do it and do it 110%.
And watch
Don't
what
think it's
happens.
weird. Don't stop. Don't just go.
Yes.
And try to make yourself better every single day. That's the goal. That's what living is about.
Yeah.
That's what God wants us to do. He wants us
Amen.
to.
Amen.
He gives us. All of us have different gifts. We have things that we're supposed to share and help people. Maybe mine's through fashion, maybe
Yeah.
mine's through my mentality and simplifying things so people could understand it, so they could adapt it to their lives. I believe that. But we all have our gifts, and it's there if we really truly listen to
Yeah.
it, you know, and then get that and run with it and hold on to it. And remember, like, just use the pain to push you to greatness. I always repeat that over my head, over, no matter what I'm going through.
Oh, that's powerful. He gave me goosebumps. I was motivated. I was like, let's go. I'm excited. And that's why she speaks on stages all over the world, if you can't tell. So tell everybody how they can get in touch with you, social media, how you can reach out, how they can reach out to you to help them out on their fitness journey or even fashion and
Yeah.
life. How do they get in touch with you?
Well, my Instagram is Bernadette, but it's Bernad _. That's the E part, but it's an underscore, and then TTE. So
Awesome.
it's, yeah, BERNAD _TTE. That's my Instagram.
Yeah.
And then you can just DM me through there. If you're in Houston, Texas, our nutrition club is the Spot Nutrition.
Yes.
And our address is 1301 WA. So I'm usually always there.
That is true.
In my workout clothes and all effed up. But but in there is where is like I'm not a person that's very vocal on my social. I wish
Yeah.
I was, but I have so many things to share that I don't know what to tap into. I try to blend it all in. But face to face is my
Oh, yeah.
most.
You're going to get it all.
Yeah,
You get the real B.
Yeah.
I love
That's
it.
it.
And so, yeah, so look,
Thanks,
you guys tap in with Bernadette. She's an amazing person. If you haven't understood that throughout watching this, step into the club, go get you a tea, get recharged, and she will show you exactly why so many people love her. So we thank you guys, and thank you again, B. We
Thank
love
you.
you.
Thanks, P.